Good evening, everybody. Council, Council President, Madam Clerk, members of the audience here today, and of course all the residents of the Township of East Brunswick. It would certainly not be an overstatement to say that the past 2 years have been the challenge of a century. But for those of us who are charged and entrusted with leading during such times, I'm reminded of the words of Martin Luther King, who said that the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the times of challenge and controversy. So I would like to use this State of the Township address to explain to our residents exactly how we have risen to the challenge and put the township on a course that is stable, inclusive, compassionate, and visionary. To start, let us look at the finances of the township, as everything that we do flows from the ability to manage the purse string. Our cash management plan is one that focuses on maintaining and replenishing reserves, ensuring adequate cash balances, keeping low debt, encouraging a high collection ratio, and long-term planning. To that end, much of the township and utility debt was refinanced last year, taking advantage of historically low interest rates. At the close of 2021, we have been able to reduce the township debt to a ratio of 0.508, which is quite remarkable. Total township debt stands at $39 million, which includes the $15 million that was approved by this council to purchase property in the event of the need for condemnation in the redevelopment areas. This has not been requested as we continue to work towards a solution that allows the developer to purchase the properties without the need for condemnation, thus making the township's actual debt just shy of $24 million. We've also been very fortunate as residents have been responsible, allowing us to boast a 99% collection ratio. While the parking and pool utilities suffered during the pandemic, we've refinanced some of their debt and may use some of our American Rescue Plan money to help these utilities. Based on our current financial management plan, we've been able to maintain our AA+ rating with Moody's. Finally, with all of our labor contracts renewed, we can forecast budgets out for a few years as salary and benefits make up the biggest part of our budget, and these are now set for the next 4 years. A big thank you to our CFO, Angel Albanese, and her entire staff for their efforts to maintain such strict financial control. And of course, thank you to the residents for paying your taxes on time, because none of the magic can happen without your cooperation and support. East Brunswick maintained a viable business and commercial corridor as approximately 100 businesses opened their doors and joined or rejoined our community. This happened despite the economic downfall during the pandemic and despite the fact that brick and mortar businesses have faced unprecedented challenges in the past few years. We welcomed new retail, food establishments, medical offices, childcare and educational facilities, telecommunications and IT services, financial services, personal care businesses, warehouse and logistical spaces, and other industries as we try to define what a post-COVID economy looks like. A bird's eye view of the Route 18 corridor will show that it is rapidly becoming a critical entertainment corridor, with examples being the upcoming hockey rink at 110 Tice's, Rock and Air, and the bowling alley near Aruga's, just to name a few. We recently welcomed FedEx to the Edgeboro Road Industrial Complex, and besides the jobs and the tax revenue that will bring, the facility is working towards the development of a fully electric last point of service fleet. Finally, the Economic Development Officer, Robert Zuckerman, will use 2022 not only to extend the business opportunities that we've discussed, but to work towards establishing a sister city in Israel. This partnership is geared towards growing opportunities in the fields of security, life and biomedical sciences, autonomous vehicles, water technology, and cultural exchange. We are also looking to work with the New Jersey Film Commission to incorporate space for a film studio and related functions as part of the expansion for the Community Arts Center, With the tax credits provided by the Murphy administration, New Jersey has become a hot destination for the film industry. And we would like to capitalize on this market as our location, talent pool, commitment to the arts can all make this an economic driver for the township. Our police department, under the management of Chief Frank Lasacco, was voted the best police department again for the 6th year in a row by the Home News Tribune. This was well-deserved as a 6-year review of crime statistics from the FBI Unified Crime Statistics data show a steady decline in total crime here in East Brunswick. This has occurred despite recent trends to the opposite in the state and national data. Some of the department achievements include implementation of the Axon body camera program, implementation of a police drone program, which will be used to find missing persons, evidence collection, monitoring and apprehension of residential and commercial burglaries, serious motor vehicle accidents, monitoring large events, and much more. They established a cooperative relationship with local TNR animal rescue programs and changed parking ordinances on Taylor Avenue in order to provide for safety and snow emergencies. And they had several heroic officer interactions that earned them and their partners recognition at the annual police award ceremony. That was held this past year at the Joanne Magistro Performing Arts Center. In attendance at that ceremony was the Acting Attorney General for New Jersey and the Middlesex County Prosecutor. So our East Brunswick PD is truly one of a model police departments for our county and the state. Our Parks and Recreation Department, under the direction of Michael Reisner, has a very busy year ahead for 2022. In anticipation of the municipal hockey rink, we will be looking to develop a youth ice hockey program. The long-anticipated COVID sculpture should be installed this spring at the Community Arts Center. We anticipate renovation of the basketball courts at Bicentennial Park. We have improvements at the municipal park upcoming, playground renovation and replacement at Sadowski and Country Lane Park, and field remediation at Heavenly Farms. Plans are also underway to come up with architectural renderings of the expansion of the Community Arts Center, since $750,000 of the $1 million state grant for this project has already been received. Events scheduled for 2022 include regulars such as Memorial Day and Veterans Day and our holiday lights. But we had new programs last year that started, which will now become regulars, which include our celebration of Ramadan, Diwali, the drive-in movies, the Indie Film Festival, and Harvest Fest. The department also has a few brand new programs. I hope many of you were able actually to enjoy our first celebration of Lunar New Year this past weekend, the Year of the Tiger. This was well attended, and it speaks to the richness of our diverse community. It's really nice to see that we can all celebrate each other's ethnic and religious holidays, because in the end, we learn that we share so much more in common than the things that make us different. The summer day camp program will return to the public school this year, so please look to the department for information on how to sign up. Crystal Springs Water Park will be open, but due to the difficulty in finding adequate amounts of staff, we will be staying with the 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. schedule. There will be reduced rates for full season passes for residents, and they will also have the opportunity to enter the park an hour early. As for the parks, we will be installing a bridge over the brook at Beaver Dam Park and opening up the park at the Elks Lodge for Boys and Girl Scouts training. We are still looking to finalize plans for the bike path from the Community Arts Center Crystal Springs. This is a project that's supported through federal grants. That's probably why it's taking so long. The department will also be looking at developing plans for a cricket field at Heavenly Farms and the creation of passive recreation at the Fodor Farm off of Reeve Avenue. The Department of Public Works always seems to be that forgotten child, but if you think about it, that's much of our way of life actually revolves around those services, which include water and sewer utilities, our road maintenance programs, solid waste, recycling, snow removal, stormwater management, and a host of other services working by themselves or in conjunction with our other departments. Under the leadership of Dan Losick, the department saves the town millions of dollars in vehicle, building, and road maintenance costs that would otherwise be sent to private contractors. This work is done in addition to the regular services of a fully functional DPW. And in regards to the water and sewer utility, also managed by Mr. Losick, expect the new water meters to start being installed this year. Many of you may have already gotten notices to the effect that that's about to happen soon. In addition, our video system is being used to monitor all lines to proactively prevent sewer and water line main breaks. We've also offered at no cost to our residents the use of our personnel and this video equipment to inspect sanitary service laterals, which are always the responsibility of the homeowner. This would be helpful for residents and businesses that have experienced recurrent blockages due to roots or other causes. While we're talking about DPW, I can now say that they are no longer alone out on Harts Lane, as the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Construction just completed their move to that location. This was done because of the severe need for office space here at the municipal complex and the space that was available on the unoccupied second floor of the DPW building on Harts Lane. The departments actually have a lot of services that overlap, and they will both be better off located together. Residents should clearly see the results of our efforts at repaving roads here in the township. Last year alone, we were able to repave almost 4 miles of township roads, 2.5 miles along Reeve Avenue, and a little over a mile on Edgeboro Road. And as mentioned many times before, we have been very fortunate to receive grants from the state to help defray many of these costs of road repairs. Last year alone, we received just under $2 million in road grants, money that would otherwise have been paid by taxpayers here in the township. Despite the pandemic, building has continued in the residential, commercial, and industrial sectors. This has resulted in the department approving 2,900 certificates of occupancy last year and $1.75 million in permit fees. Thanks to Director Keith Kipp and his team, we maintained silver status for Sustainable New Jersey, and our housing corporation continues to find space for those in greatest need. They are presently holding on to a fund balance of $2.7 million and will be looking to invest in space for affordable units. All of this helps the township when it comes time for us to negotiate with the Fair Share Housing Corporation, as East Brunswick has always been keeping its commitment to make the town affordable to all families. 2022 will be another busy year as the department turns its attention to the new municipal hockey rink, the ongoing redevelopment projects, the regular commitment of approximately $2 million to road repairs along with the added bike lanes, and the regular business of supporting our planning board, zoning board, and redevelopment agency. Two areas that took a big hit in attendance during the pandemic and the lockdown saw a real turnaround last year. That is the Senior Center and the East Brunswick Public Library. The Senior Center, under the direction of Daniel McCallie, saw about 80 members per day since reopening in July of last year. While well under the pre-pandemic peak of 150 members a day, this difference was actually made up for by a flurry of virtual activities, outdoor events, and support groups. While closed, we took an opportunity to install the new roof, the HVAC system, windows, and a large outdoor patio, all paid for from the $700,000 grant provided by Governor Murphy in his 2021 budget. The department was able to log in 5,000 bus rides, 9,000 home-delivered meals, 15,000 social service contacts, and 300 SHIP and Medicare counseling sessions during 2021. They benefit from partnerships and a collaborative relationship with our local businesses, our public schools, the Department of Parks and Recreation, and the East Brunswick Public Library. And speaking of the East Brunswick Public Library, we welcomed our new director, John Arthur, in August of 2021. And despite being closed for half the year, we were still able to log in over 100,000 visits in the past year. Curbside pickup was a true success, keeping folks connected to the library services until we were able to open for full service. The library staff was really able to kill it with virtual programming to children and adults, as they were able to boast actually greater attendance to the wide range of virtual programs compared to in-house programs in previous years. This included regular programs, various library podcasts, and the library's own YouTube channel. At the close of last year, the library was able to secure a record-breaking $323,000 grant from the New Jersey State Library in order to run something called New Jersey Health Connect. This service provides telemedicine services, wellness resources, and medical information compiled by our librarians to over 150 communities throughout the state. In 2022, the library will be working on a strategic planning initiative, which will include, among a menu of possible initiatives, a proposal to add a new branch in the redevelopment area of the township. This would further the mission of the library in trying to reach parts of the township that have had a harder time enjoying the benefits of a free public library. And to support many of these initiatives, the Library Foundation is actively looking for volunteers. So please reach out to me or John Arthur for more information on the role of this important library partner. When it comes to information technology, the glue that connects the township's departments and organizations with the outside world and actually themselves, the name of the game is security. Managed by Adele Youssef, the biggest project this past year and spilling into 2022 was the continued work on installing site-based firewalls, implementing system endpoint detection, and other measures designed to further secure our digital network. This year, we will be also upgrading the town's office phone system to Microsoft 360, and we will be upgrading the police department emergency call system. EBTV produced 230 programs in 2021, providing 2,400 hours of programming. And while viewed on EBTV, Channel 26, most of the programs were also produced for social media through YouTube. This garnered 165,000 views and 10,500 hours of watch time, making it one of the best ways to circulate many of EBTV's regular and special programs. A big thank you to Dave Ambrosi and Anthony Pagliocco, as their productions earned the network 5 awards of excellence at the annual JAG Awards. While the census data from 2020 shows anemic growth in the township over the past decade, 2021 was an unusual year, as there were over 1,000 new homeowners that took it, and many of our long-term residents took advantage of the housing bubble to sell their homes. According to Frank Colon, our township assessor, the department processed 1,418 new deeds in 2021 and added 107 new assessments, bringing in over $5 million in new ratables to the township. The township has continued growth in new families with young children over the past few years. This has only accelerated in the last year, explaining the current overcrowding issue in the elementary grades of our public schools. While total enrollment has not reached the entire school capacity of 9,500, this bubble in the younger grades explains the need to move 5th grade out of the elementary schools and the need for temporary trailers at Churchill Junior High School. But this all begs the bigger long-term question regarding school facilities, as some of our school buildings are old, in need of major repairs, and the previously described bubble will eventually work its way to the upper schools. The township administration, this council, and the redevelopment agency all stand ready to earmark future pilot money towards achieving the long-term goals of the Board of Education and the township. We stand ready to discuss such a partnership in a collaborative way so that the needs of the schools and the community are best served. I believe that we can capitalize on our strong relationship, and we can both roll up our sleeves to provide our residents with a 21st century 4-year high school and a township community center in a way that does not increase property taxes. So despite the shadow of the pandemic these past 2 years, I believe that our future is within our control and is bright. And in the words of Abraham Lincoln, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So God bless this, all of you, our township, our troops, and of course the United States of America. Thank you very much.